In order to try to understand the second day, we looked at the Hebrew view of the cosmos, something like this, or more simply, this. Strictly speaking, though, at the end of the second day, the world is looking more like this, or perhaps like this. There's no land at this stage, but it's not clear whether God creates it or whether it's always been there under the surface, waiting for the water to be moved aside so that it can appear.
And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place and let dry land appear. This fits within that whole thing. Let's kind of pump out all the water there and get the firmament in. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth.
Right.
And we're talking about ground here, not planet earth.
The gathering together of the waters called he seas.
We now have the earth beneath the firmament and rising out of the sea.
And God saw again that it was good.
Dry ground, terra firma, is good.
if you're a two-armed biped, it's more convenient. If you're a fish,
if you're a dolphin, you're not worried about it.
No.
But water can be very. You need it, but too much is very, very bad.
Well, yeah, we get the flood coming in fairly soon in Genesis.
Yeah. All right. So he brings forth grass, and grass really is not the grass that you would have in a lawn. It's the wheat and everything that grows.
Yeah.
Early 17th century English would be grass. So
Right.
the earth yielding seed and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. All right. Here's the next problem that creates after his kind.
Yeah. That an apple seed will produce an apple tree. Its seed is in itself. So it has, God, in a sense, gives his creation the ability to recreate itself.
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking at here?
Absolutely. And is considered, is good. It's among all the things after their kind. And we don't even think of it this way. That you can't, if you're humans, you can't spawn a donkey. Okay.
No.
If you're horses, you can't spawn a monkey.
Yeah.
So if you're living in sort of cultures where these animals are important and fruit is important and cultivation of seed is important, you see a sort of miracle in the fact that you don't go out of your kind. Of course, that kind of thinking can get you into some racism later.
And it's very much emphasized, isn't it? Because verse 12 really kind of repeats the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the earth brought forth grass, and the earth yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good.
That raises several questions for me. One is that, well, he hasn't yet made the sun. I mean, we all know that it would be like close to absolute zero without the sun. I mean, that's our modern scientific mind kind of putting its own cast on it. But it does seem curious, firstly, that he creates all the growing things before he's made the sun to nurture and nourish them. And also the time frame here. First, he says, let the earth bring forth grass, and the earth did bring forth grass, and let the herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit. So that all, to my mind, takes years. I mean, for trees.
Oh, well, it just happens in one day here.
Well, that's the question of what is, or what is it a cosmic day that has nothing to do with our days? Because remember, there's no sun at this stage. So, I mean, it's not limited to 24 hours. It can be an age. It can be there is no day in the sense that, well, I mean, that's something. I mean, the day is the light. That's already been stipulated. But there's no sun to emanate the light at this point.
Light has been created, but there's no sun.
Yeah. Yeah. So where is this light What light determines that it's day at this stage?
That's right.
We don't know, do we? We're.
But
it's not connected to what we know as a day, where there's a sun that rises and sets, and the evening and the morning are already happening. So there's day and night going on, and yet there's no sun.
Yeah. Well, also, if you took it outside of and just said this is all happening very quickly, and God's just drumming this up like a kind of curry, and making this all happen very quickly, we'll find out later that God has to rest. It's not easy work. What I wanted to bring out was that these two verses, and we'll see this again. It was good, but there are a couple of places here where things are repeated, which indicates to me that these are oral texts that are to be read to people who probably can't read. And that's why you have this repetition. And it is an early example of what anybody who's in marketing or advertising should know. In page 1, you get people to do things through repetition.
Yeah.
But you also get people to remember things through repetition.
Yeah.
And I think the importance of that is trying to carry these stories from one generation orally to the next generation, because you just don't have that many copies of the manuscript.
Because you've got God saying, "Let the earth bring forth grass," and then you've got the earth kind of doing what God's told it to do and bringing forth grass.
That's right. And with the kind of lesson in there, do what God tells you to do. Because this is all good. We find that out a lot.